If you haven't watched part 1, stop right now and go back. None of this will make sense otherwise. Because what happened next shook all of us. This time, it wasn't just me, Kyle, and a shadow in the woods. This time, it involved a group, a stranger with no explanation, and a figure that stood still but never needed to move to terrify us. I'm back with another story, and this one's recent. But before we begin, let's reintroduce some familiar faces and a few new ones. There's me, Jay. I've changed a lot since the first story. Stronger, more confident, but still the Boy Scout type, always thinking ahead. Kyle, shorter than me, kind of fat, but surprisingly athletic. Usually our comic relief, unless things get real. Chad, the muscle of the group. Not a believer in this paranormal crap, as he puts it. His strict parents usually keep him away, but not this time. Josh, Chad's school friend. Basically Kailita. Not as fit, but just as sarcastic. Dylan, the chill guy. Asian, quiet, and honestly does nothing in this story, but he was there. Luke, skinnier, quiet, more of a tag-along. And finally, Sophia, Kyle's friend, you know what I mean, who joins us for part of the adventure. Before we go deeper, hit that like button if you've ever had a weird encounter you couldn't explain. And don't forget to subscribe for more real horror stories like this one. That afternoon, me, Kyle, Chad, and Josh headed into the woods to check out the amp house. Quick recap. The amp house was basically a tent we found deep in the forest. Someone clearly lived there at some point. We saw signs of life, trash, items, and even a person peeking out once. Eventually it was taken down, but we kept visiting the area like dumb teens because it had this weird backyard vibe. When we arrived, Sophia was with us. Kyle must have invited her. We didn't think much of it, but things got strange fast. There was a man to our left doing something sketchy in a thick patch of trees. Josh and I noticed first and tried to get everyone to leave calmly. But before Chad could react, the guy turned and stormed toward us, like we just insulted his ancestors. Everyone took off, but me and Sophia didn't follow the others. Instead, we bolted toward nearby train tracks to avoid running past him. We kept looking back, nothing. Then, as we regrouped with the others, the man suddenly walked out of the woods from our direction, even though we'd been watching the whole time. And he apologized, like full-on yelled, "Sorry, I didn't mean to scare you, but here's what doesn't make sense. How did he get there so fast without us seeing him? No way he could have outpaced us or taken a shortcut. I know those woods. It's impossible." Later that night, the pizza place was having a sale, so naturally we regrouped there. Sophia had to leave. Her parents weren't insane, and Dylan left too. That's when Luke joined us. While eating, we started talking about the woods. Josh and Luke had no idea what we were referencing, so we filled them in on everything for part 1. They didn't believe us at first, but by the end of dinner, we found ourselves heading back into the woods, this time in the dark. We were armed with crappy phone flashlights and the confidence of idiots. Our goal: revisit the amp house, then the crack shack, and finally chill at a third spot that had never felt creepy. We had a new guy too, Sophia's younger brother, Chad Jr., just a year below us. Imagine a redneck middle schooler with overconfidence to the point of stupidity. That's him. The amp house was weird. Things were rearranged. Stuff taken, other stuff added. And we'd just been there hours earlier. While inspecting, we heard breaking branches, coming from the same trees where the weird man had been earlier. I used my better flashlight, but the trees were too thick. We decided to leave, but stopped to listen. That's when we heard again, snap, snap, then running. Not just any running. Someone, or something, was sprinting straight at us. We bolted. Once on the gravel path, I looked back. No sound. Nothing behind us. Gone. Silence. If you're still watching and your heart's pounding a bit, drop a WTF in the comments. Let's see how many of you would have stayed in the woods after that. Instead of leaving, we made the smart choice. Go deeper. Just one more stop, the crack shack. But the path to it had changed. That big pile of dirt from before, now extended so only one person could fit through at a time. Maybe two if they squeezed. At the shack, most of the group was exploring and goofing around. But I hung back near a small drop-off with Chad. That's when I heard it again, loud branches breaking. I asked Chad if he could hear it, and for once, he went pale. He nodded. Then I heard something else. A sound I'll never forget. Like someone trying to speak while being choked. No words, just strangled groaning. I tried to yell, but only a wheeze came out. I motioned with my hands, and luckily the group got the message. As we exited, the narrow path slowed us down. Kyle's Yeezy slide fell off. I shoved past him, tearing my jacket on the brush. As he got his shoe back on, I looked back, and there was a tall, black figure, standing motionless, watching. Same coldness from before, the same feeling in my chest. I ran harder than ever. You'd think that would be enough. Nope. Everyone wanted to go to Nico's forest next, the sketchiest area of all. Kyle and I refused at first, but we couldn't let them go alone. They didn't know the paths. And if that figure was real, we weren't about to lose anyone. We geared up. I brought knives. Gave one to Kyle, one to Chad. Josh had a screwdriver and latex gloves. I didn't ask why. Luke had nothing but blind trust. As we approached the main forest entrance, the path, we saw a red sedan parked, blocking the way. Two entrances exist, the sketchy one and the path one. But entering either meant crossing headlights. From about 100 feet away, a flashlight shone from the passenger's seat, right into my eyes. Kyle saw it too. Once, then again. I told him, they're warning us. We turned back. Josh, Luke, and Chad didn't see it. They kept walking. Eventually, Chad returned. He saw the light too. But Josh and Luke still walked. A few minutes later, they came sprinting back. Run! All four doors of the sedan had opened at once. No words. No people seen. Just open doors and fear. We ran for a block before stopping. That was it. The night finally ended. That was one of the last times I stepped foot in those woods. But the questions still haunt me. What was the black figure? How that man moved so fast? Was it human or something else? If you've had anything remotely like this happen, comment below. I'll be reading them all.